I'd like to see him get angry against Fury.
But Usyk doesn't play that game. He's going to be in, out, in, out, in, out.
Usyk stops Fury?
He should beat Usyk.
I don't believe it's going to happen until that bell rings.
Usyk KO round 10.
Don't forget, Tyson Fury's wingspan is
Huge.
about 40 foot.
It's more the size and weight than the height difference that makes.
Tyson Fury's basically a genetic freak.
I don't think this is a golden era of boxing.
I think a lot of people are expecting Fury's just going to be too big.
Welcome back to BoxCast. Today we're going to be reviewing the upcoming eagerly awaited fight for the Undisputed Heavyweight titles between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. Simon, do we still believe it's going to happen?
I don't believe it's going to happen until that bell rings.
Well, that's why we're making this, isn't it? And then we'll update should there be any developments.
Yeah, I think it will now. I'm open, so I think with the Saudis' involvement.
Well, I think if they don't make it happen, they'll burn the bridges with the Saudis, and that'll be it then. Yeah, so I think that nobody's that stupid.
I think it's... Yeah, I do think it'll happen. I think it's got to happen now. If it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen.
Well, I think they've done the Day of Reckoning, which is like the warm-up for it. So there's no real thing. And I think it's really the only fight left for both of them if they actually want a legacy. And I think Usyk has, to be fair, pushed more for that. Fury's gone around it. Now, whether he's just been playing games to get his money, which is probably a bit of what he's been doing. You never
know what.
But you never know with him what he's doing. So
he's an eccentric character, isn't he?
Yeah, you could say that. I think that's why him and Wilder got, because both of them had a little bit of that, whereas, that's how they made that trilogy and they've earned a bit of money from it. And he's obviously got against Ngannou, he's made a bit of dough and he's built up his following. So that's why I think it should go ahead. But, obviously we'll update you if there's any changes.
Yeah, did you watch the first press conference with Fury and Usyk? With the announcement press conference?
Yeah, a little bit of. I've seen highlights of the things.
What of the, reading and the comments about it is... A lot of British fans are now switching towards Usyk. I think because of the way Fury acted, getting in his face, calling him ugly, gappy tooth. And to be fair to it, Usyk just stood there and looked right through him. And Tony Bellew said, you're not going to intimidate Usyk.
It doesn't quite... Well, I've seen a thing yesterday with Usyk where he was just he does an impression of blah, 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 you PPP, whatever, swearing, blah, 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 gappy tooth.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's all a show. It's not really.
I think that's where Tyson Fury's not going to get in Usyk's head.
No.
He really, really isn't. And if he's relying on that...
He hasn't got much hope. Usyk
won't answer him back, but Usyk will just ignore him completely, and it'll just go straight over his head.
He's too experienced and too canny. He's got too much knowledge of the thing. He hasn't let any of them get under the thing. Anybody's tried, he's not going to get intimidated. It's not that mentality. They're a different level of mentality. So, that's not going to work. I mean, it's good theatrics to sell the fight. So whether he's doing it for that, it's fine. And Usyk can give back some good answers as well. So it's not exactly.
Yeah, I just think it's when you start getting personal. That's when I think people start having an issue with Fury.
I'm not a fan of that. I like them to be respectful.
Yeah.
I mean, I like a little bit of theatrics because I think I said when Wilder and Parker's with it was just boring. You got to have some things going back and forth. I like the way it was Bellew and. Usyk's one, where there was a little bit of banter, but it was all respectful.
Yeah, it was respectful.
Nice, but there was a little bit of, sharp bite. The one where they go personal for no reason. I mean, go, I'm the best fighter, blah, 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 all the usual rubbish. That's fine. You don't have no issue with that.
Don't start getting personal.
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting. I look forward to this fight.
Okay, so should we go into what we think will happen? Should we go for Tyson Fury? What's his chances of winning? What should he do? Or what do we think he'll do?
He's going to do one or two things. I think Fury's either going to go out like Joshua did in the first fight against Usyk. He's going to I'll just outbox him.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's just going to maul him.
Yeah.
Or try and maul him.
Well, do you think he's capable of outboxing Usyk? I don't think there's any heavyweight who's capable of outboxing Usyk. And Fury's probably the one who's got the most chance. But
I think a lot of people would, let's go on it. We're going off Fury's last fight against Ngannou, aren't we? Which is what a lot of...
I think we should ignore that one, but yeah, go on.
But that's what a lot of people are going on.
Then there's not much chance he's got...
But I have always said I've never rated Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever rated him. I always said he'd beat Klitschko.
Well, one of the things that I get is that they go on, there's a lot of the commentators and people who should know better, should have more experience.
Hear a little tingle. That's just the heavens have opened here where we are.
It was that good a comment coming up, even though the gods have decided to bring down some... They all give him really good credit, and then I was looking back at what his resume.
His resume is rubbish.
And who has he really got on there? He's got Klitschko fight, the first one when that's when he really burst on the scene.
Yeah, I always said he'd beat Klitschko,
but do you think he would have won in a rematch? See, I think Klitschko would have worked him out then and then did him.
The reason I said he'd beat Klitschko is because he had the balls to box and beat Klitschko. Klitschko was beaten before he was in the ring because he was so confused.
He didn't turn up to that fight, really.
Klitschko had never faced anyone like Fury before, and I don't mean that in the ring. I mean that outside the ring.
Yeah. Well, his mental game.
And I always said Fury will beat Klitschko, but he'll never beat him in a rematch.
No.
And the rematch never happened, and I, for whatever reasons. But apart from that,
and then it's only the Deontay Wilder, which
he's had. Let's. I mean,
because
Deontay Wilder
really
not be. I've never rated Deontay Wilder as a boxer. Yeah, he's got a big right hand, but
Deontay Wilder as a boxer isn't what he was. He's dangerous.
He's got a dangerous right hand. Joseph Parker proved how you can beat him. Who else has he fought? He's fought what? Derek Chisora 3 or 4 times.
You do good, but the thing is this, once you've worked them out the first time, it's sort of, isn't
he destroyed,
what are you going to do?
For me, his best win is Dillian White.
Yeah, I would say that.
And not a lot of people
that was the most comprehensive
will agree
performance.
With that, but that, to me, was his best win.
Well, his boxing performance, he outboxed Klitschko, but I think he bamboozled him.
Yeah.
Klitschko didn't really get it. In a rematch, I think Klitschko wins. Yeah. And I think that's why he got out of it, and he knew that, and he didn't rematch him. I think Dillian White was his best performance as well. Dillian White was on...
Other than that, you've had Otto Warlin.
Could have got stopped. Warlin gave him a better... And the thing is, you give that as a really good thing, but then when you see what Joshua did to him, all right, it's different fights, different time, and Joshua obviously knew him because he sparred with him and he's had them in the amateurs, isn't he?
I've watched Fury from very early on in his career. I remember his first fight against John McDermott, and I gave the fight to John McDermott. All right, Fury destroyed him in the second fight. And then he fought... Who was the cruiserweight he was fighting that jumped up to heavyweight that put him on his backside?
Oh, I forgot the name. Should get his fight list. Go on. See if you can think of it and carry on with it. But none of the others really. The fight that made his name was Klitschko, and obviously he won the titles, and it was a bit of a surprise. And it's a really good performance.
I mean, I know he had 2 fights planned against David Haye, which David Haye pulled out with injury. I personally think Haye had beat him.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like I say, trying to go through his resume, it's just not good compared to Joshua's resume.
Yeah, well, that's what I was basically hinting at, isn't it? Like, you can say whatever you want about Joshua and things.
Don't get me wrong.
He doesn't. He hasn't really ducked any fights, no matter what anybody said, because you've seen him afterwards. He's fought them.
Fury is a talent. I'm not going to say he's not a talent. He is a talented boxer, but
a lot of his thing is his size.
Yeah, it's his size.
He beat Wilder because he beat
Wilder
bullied him
3 times
with his weight. But Wilder was in all those fights.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one you could have said, because there is some talk of that the count was long. All right, I think for what he'd done in it, a draw is probably a fair result.
Yeah.
And the second and third he's won. Obviously, he's got back to, and the first one he was coming back, so it was like his first real proper fight. So you can understand second and third ones, but even in the third one, Wilder was in it, and he came back and he gave it a go.
Yeah,
but we know Wilder isn't the boxing level of any of the, quite a lot of the others. He's not a boxer. He's slick-ish in defense. He doesn't get tagged clean, and obviously he's got his huge, right hand, which helps equalizes everything. So, but I'm looking through it now, and I'm looking and thinking, there's John McDermott, the Majek, Glasgow, McDermott again, then Chisora once, Rogan, Vinny. None of these really shout out to me that they're Chisora.
I mean, Martin Rogan was about
Christian
40.
Hammer. Obviously, Klitschko was the big one that he's had.
Yeah.
Then he's had Deontay Wilder, Wallin.
He was the cruiserweight before.
Wilder. When was it?
It was before the Klitschko fight, I think.
Christian Hammer?
No,
he wasn't. He's a heavyweight. Derek Chisora.
Ring off them names.
Joey Abel. Steve Cunningham?
Was it Steve Cunningham? I think it was Steve Cunningham.
Because he knocked Fury down in the second.
Yeah.
Then Cunningham went down in the seventh, and then Fury had a point knocked off for headbutting him.
I think it was
That
Steve.
and Cunningham was isn't he the, like, because he was the smaller guy and he's like a southpaw or something.
Yeah, he was moving up from cruiserweight, Steve Cunningham.
Yeah. And it was really close on the cards. Because it was basically one of them had a draw and it was 57-55.
Yeah.
So you could have gone that either of the ways.
So, but Tyson Fury, he's big, he's rangy, he has got speed for the size of him. He's got really
good movement for the size of him. He's 6'9", and he's got a huge reach, 85-inch reach.
Has he got concussive knockout power?
I don't think so, because obviously he knocked out Wilder, but Wilder was basically gassed.
He knocked out.
It wasn't
the
one
only
punch.
person I'd say he's cleanly, properly knocked out was Dillian White.
But White had gassed out a bit as well, because he'd given it a good go.
that was only after like 4 rounds, though, wasn't it?
But he'd gone proper.
No, I think Dillian White just froze on the occasion.
It was against Joshua. He gassed a bit, didn't he?
Dillian White.
This was 4-round fight, wasn't it? So
Fury
he was starstruck. He didn't turn up.
Fury can beat Usyk. Fury, I believe, can knock Usyk out.
Yeah.
Definitely, he's 20 stone. He can knock
his main
Usyk
advantage
out.
is size. He's got his reach, height, and he's got weight. He does maul people, and does it? But you've seen that get undone against Ngannou, because Ngannou was stronger and wasn't going to get bullied.
I don't know whether though if this is.
But he got caught by a guy who's never been. All right, I think Ngannou's better than most people expected him to be for his first fight. And he's trained by Mike Tyson, so obviously there's some tricks come into it. But like, he caught him clean and knocked him down.
I mean, I think Usyk can hurt Fury as well.
Yeah.
I do think that. I don't think Fury's got the best of chins.
No.
All right, he gets back up, but he can be put down.
Yeah.
And I think Usyk hits hard enough and fast enough.
I think if we move on to Usyk, what do we think Usyk's the best boxer?
It's Usyk's footwork, but it's whether that footwork can come into play against someone like Tyson Fury, who will, don't forget, Tyson Fury's wingspan is huge. About 40 foot.
Yeah.
So he can, and his legs are massive, really long legs as well.
But his difficult fights have been against smaller southpaws.
Yeah,
Cunningham was, and other people have been. And Deontay Wilder's caught him a fair few times. All right, maybe not completely clean, and Usyk is a different level of laser-targeted punching machine.
I mean, is Fury... I mean, obviously, we go on Usyk's last performance, which was the Dubois fight, and obviously there was the body shot controversy.
The low blow. Let's call it what it is.
So, and everyone's saying, Usyk is going to be susceptible to the body.
See, the thing is, I don't think that was a low blow and wasn't that good a shot. If you want to treat what he does to the body, I think it's Joshua's one in the second fight.
Yeah,
where he proper caught him in the 9th round.
But he
recovered and then went the last 3 rounds, as he did against Dubois.
But, so is Fury going to try and target the body?
What will you target? If you've got a slick, I think it's been made about him, but any boxer who's like slick, fast, in and out movement, if they've got good legs, what do? You target the body. It's an obvious tactic, so you should be doing that. Not just because if it's Usyk, it's because it's a smaller guy who's slick in and out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think...
You've got to slow him down.
I don't think Fury's going to have...
Do you think he's going to do low blows, though? I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, what's Fury? 6'9"?
Yeah.
And what's Usyk? 6'2"?
6'3". It's about 190, isn't it? He's 206, so it's a bit of difference.
Different in height.
But it doesn't look as much when you see them facing up. I mean, it's more the size and weight than the height difference that makes. But Joshua's 6'6", 6'7" anyway, and he didn't have any issue with dealing with him.
Joshua's a better athlete.
Whether Fury can bully him, isn't it? But like you would think Usyk's canny enough, and he's fought bigger fighters and bigger punchers and people, and he's slick enough that he can get in and out. Yeah, there's a chance if he gets caught. Obviously, I think Fury's chances is size and mauling if he can pull that off, like he did to Wilder, and if he catches him, because obviously 20-stone guy hitting you, 21 stone or whatever he's going to come in and weight.
Yeah, it's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt. If he can get him to the body and catch him with slicks. I mean, he is a good puncher. He is quite good. But I think Usyk's the best boxer, and I think 12 rounds.
It's Usyk's footwork, isn't it? Like if Usyk can,
it's a relentless pace.
Yeah.
And although to be fair, Fury does have a good engine as well. He doesn't gas out normally.
No, he doesn't. But
Usyk's pace is relentless, and he's like I've seen somewhere. It's like punch output, isn't it? Is ridiculous. I should have brought it up. I haven't saved it on here. I think there's one of his fights where they said in the last 3 rounds or something, he put in like 200 and odd punches or something against Joshua. You know, after he had the body shot, I think he put like in 3 rounds, because it was the 9th round, the 10th, 11th, 12th round. He put something like 260 punches and he landed like 80. To Joshua had like less. Joshua threw less punches than he landed, and landed about like 17 or 20 in 3 rounds after that body shot.
It's ridiculous. It's an intriguing fight. It really is intriguing. Like say, I'm going on. Has Usyk got the footwork to get in and out? Because he can't stay in the pocket with Fury. Because Fury will just get hold of him.
He's get mauled and he's going to
and that'll be it. So it is Usyk's footwork. So Tyson Fury's going to have to work out how to cut that ring off. But it's whether Tyson Fury, will he go as... Because obviously Tyson Fury comes in sometimes as a southpaw as well, or orthodox. Will he go as a counter-puncher, or will he be stand in the centre of the ring, going after Usyk?
See, the thing is, if we hadn't had that Ngannou fight, I think we'd given him a bit more credit. But that Ngannou won't put you off, because if you're getting caught by like a amateur, basically, and the power rocked him and he couldn't bully him, and you would suspect that Usyk's going to be savvy enough that he doesn't get caught.
He's going to be able to bully Usyk, though, isn't he? If he gets old,
he should be able to.
He is going to be able to bully him.
But Usyk's got a decent chin as well.
Usyk's, yeah. I don't think he's ever been caught properly, though, has he, Usyk?
He was too slick.
I
mean, if he's his normal self, he's slick enough. I also think that he's also played the possum a bit. I don't think he's given, like, everything to a fight. And I think in this one he will.
I think you saw the best you've seen of Usyk was the last 3 rounds against Joshua.
Yeah.
That was him at his best.
Well, I think he basically coasted most of the fight and then thought, wait a minute. There's still some life in this guy, Tony, and then went turbo mode.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the closest I've seen anyone to beat...
I think Dubois made him a bit angry as well, and
yeah,
that's why
Dubois
he knocked him out.
But Tony Bellew was beating Usyk when they fought.
Yeah, Tony Bellew was beating him, you think?
Yeah, Tony Bellew was beating him. And if you listen to what Tony Bellew said, he just got mentally exhausted because he was watching Usyk's feet and his punches.
It's just relentless pressure without actually throwing the punch.
And that's what beat Tony Bellew. Derek obviously fought Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora tried the mauling approach. And that was, to be fair, it was quite a close fight. But I don't think Usyk
was playing possum.
Yeah,
he's sort of, without saying it, said it. And the thing is, I think he likes Bellew. I think he liked Chisora. I think even AJ, he has respect for.
I think he didn't like Bellew when he caught him with that right hand.
No, but obviously in the ring he was vicious. But I mean, like Usyk, generally out the ring, he likes them, and if you see the respect between Bellew
Usyk
and
has
Usyk,
got respect for his fighters. He respects all his fighters. He fights. Yeah. I'd like to see him get angry against Fury.
I think this might be his like crowning performance, because I think he's been playing a little bit like
it's for both of them, isn't it? Both of them.
I think Fury has to be as his best.
Yeah,
it's got to be
Fury's
his best.
Got to be his best, because this is, it's all said and done, this is their legacy fight for both of them.
Well, I think they've said if his one is Klitschko really, and then he's got the Wilder ones, but in sparring, Usyk is supposed to head off Klitschko's, both of them, or at least him. So in slickness and movement and things, he is. I think Usyk is underrated, even though people who know, but I think there's still a lot of people who write him off because of his size.
Thing is Usyk's
not taken into account, he's not that small.
No, and if Usyk beats Fury, he can retire, because there's no one out there for him to fight.
You go off into the sunset. Well, there's only Wilder was left, but Wilder's now not there. He's beaten Joshua and he's beaten Fury, the two best heavyweights of this era, really.
I mean, the only...
well, he's the best then, isn't it? But
the only upside for Fury is if he loses, the likelihood is he's still got the Joshua fight.
I think Fury's still got fights.
Yeah. But I don't know whether Fury's got the hunger.
Well, that's what I think was missing, and whether he's got the hunger to train.
Is he too
and that
busy?
was missing in the Ngannou thing, because I don't think he trained properly.
No, is he too busy doing his Netflix series and things like that?
Well, I think he's more concerned with his money than he is with...
But I mean, that's the thing.
Legacy.
He was never about money, was he? But now he obviously is. Obviously, he's a family man.
No, you can understand it to a degree. You've got an opportunity to make, but like the money comes and goes. It's the thing that you leave afterwards in history. It's your legacy. That's the thing people are going to talk about. And if he's he's a self-proclaimed best heavyweight of all time.
No,
he
he's
isn't.
not. He's really,
let's be fair. He's self-proclaimed. I don't think. The problem is you've got journalists and other people believing it. No. They push it out. I mean, how can you compare him to some of the people who've been before?
Lennox Lewis had just spanked him.
Yeah.
I think Mike Tyson had spanked him.
Beaten him. Evander
Holyfield had spanked him. Joshua had spanked him, in my opinion.
And you've got the likes of Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, all these other people who are... All right, we haven't seen them, but like you look at them, there's a lot of other people in golden eras of boxing. Yeah. I don't think this is a golden era of boxing. I think, with Usyk, we're very lucky.
I think the heavyweight it's not a golden era, but the heavyweight division at the moment, as it stands, if they can get a lot of these top 10 fighting together, it can be a fantastic...
It can be a really, really good... They can make it again if you do the stuff division. Like Dave Reckling, like you said on there, isn't it?
It can be fantastic. I go back to Fury's resume. I keep going back to it. He hasn't got a decent resume.
He's got the ones we've said. The three Deontay Wilders and Klitschko. And then there's some of the performances. Yeah, the performance against Dylan White. But Dylan White, I think, has always been that second tier heavyweight. He's never been in that top table. No. And the Chisora is a great journeyman, great person. We like him, but he's not at that top level either.
I mean, when was it the fourth time they fought? What was it? Fury's. I mean,
I think a lot of that they've done because everybody likes Chisora, so it's to make him some money. But it's not a legacy.
You're the WBC champion of the world. What are you doing fighting Derek Chisora?
Yeah.
If you're that good, why aren't you fighting?
And it's not Joshua? Like there's a shortage of good fighters.
We offered Joshua the fight. We offered Usyk the fight. Did you? Did you really? You might have done, but what were you given that stupid deadline?
Well, stupid deadline and stupid percentages were 70-30 and stuff. And the other guys got more of the belt, so how are you going to give stupid deadlines?
I think we are in agreement. I think we've always said Usyk beats Fury.
Well, I think I've always said to you, isn't it? I wanted Joshua to fight Fury first because I think Joshua beats Fury.
Yeah.
Proper Joshua, like he seems to be getting back to when the old Joshua. I think he beats Fury. And I always said Usyk will be taller than him anyway, so...
Yeah.
I said Usyk beats Joshua from him, which he has. But that would have been the better way round, because I think Joshua would have then had his legacy stamped, because then it doesn't matter if he loses to Usyk, because he would have had all the titles.
I think Joshua wants Usyk again.
Yeah, I think Ben Davidson said, isn't he?
That he's got a little plan.
But I think this is his last fight. I don't think whatever happens, win, lose, or draw.
I don't think Usyk goes near Joshua again.
There's no need for Usyk doesn't have a reason to fight him. Joshua has a reason to fight him. But it gets a bit stale, isn't it? The problem is if Usyk beats him again, then it resets what his good work he's built.
How old's Usyk now?
36 or 37.
So he's coming to the end of his career as well.
Yeah, this is I think he's basically going to leave whatever happens in this fight, innit? Win, lose, or draw.
Well, no,
unless there's a draw, then a rematch.
No, because there is a rematch clause, isn't there?
Yeah.
So the guarantee from what you're hearing from
36.
That there's going to be a rematch, and that's where the IBF will then
37 before this fight, because his birthday's in about a week.
So they fight, whoever wins, then there's a rematch. That's when the IBF belt will get stripped from them, and that's where Joshua and Hergovich.
I think
fight,
that's Joshua's better route. Is clean up with the rest, and he'll get the belts again.
And then if it's Fury who wins, it'll be Joshua Fury in a summer blockbuster. Well, no, it'd be a December blockbuster, I think, wouldn't it? Because if the Fury Usyk rematch, I think they
want Joshua to have one or two more fights before he takes.
But I think if Usyk wins convincingly, Tyson Fury doesn't take a rematch.
No. There's no point.
No, it's not just there's no point. I don't think Tyson Fury can handle being beat.
Yeah.
I don't think. I just don't.
I think if it's close and contentious, then they'll do it, because he'll just say I won and blah blah blah, the usual stuff. I think if he gets completely outboxed and over the 12 rounds, whatever it is,
I don't think he could handle being beat.
Definitely if he gets knocked out, but I think even over the 12 rounds, if he's comprehensively beaten like Dubois was or something like that, I don't think he can handle defeat.
No,
I think that's why he stopped before. It wasn't the fact that he beat him. I think it was the fact that he knew he was going to get beat by Klitschko, and that's over.
I don't think he could handle a defeat to Usyk.
I think both of them stop after this, no matter what. They may have a rematch, depending on how close it is and contentious.
Is it dependent how close it is, or is it dependent how much money the Saudis offer them?
They may offer him some more. Yeah, that may decide how close it is. But that again depends on how, because I think it only in any way people are going to be interested in a rematch if there's some bone of contention or it's close, because it may be like Usyk's winning loads and then Fury catches him and knocks him out.
Yeah,
but Usyk was ahead, or it could be the other way, isn't it? That like it's really close in points.
Do you think Usyk lands a lot of punches on Fury during the fight?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Usyk's going to outbox him. That doesn't mean he might win, but I think in terms of boxing skill, I think Usyk's a level above. And I think he will outbox him comprehensively. I think his game plan will be 12 rounds, but he may turn it up and actually give his actually 100% power. Then he may knock him out in the later rounds. Because I think Fury we've seen he can be caught and knocked out. It's whether he decides to do that, or if they decide that they're going to have a rematch so he doesn't knock him out and saves that for the...
No, I don't think.
Because I think he had Joshua out today and he stopped. I don't think he cleaned him out because he had respect and he didn't need to. He knew he was won in the first fight.
I think Usyk can stop Fury, but also, and I think Fury can stop Usyk as well.
Yeah. I don't think Fury outboxes him. I think Fury will be a stoppage. He mauls him, he catches him.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people
I think he'd have to knock him down.
Yeah,
I think on points, Usyk will beat him.
I think a lot of people are expecting Fury's just going to be too big and maul him. But I think what a lot of people are forgetting is how quick Usyk is with his feet, and he can get out of Fury's way.
Feet and hands. His punch speed and his thing. And it's not just that, it's his output. Well, his accuracy.
He doesn't waste a punch, really, Usyk, does he?
It's output, but it's like he's really, really good accuracy and really, really good output.
Is the height going to be an issue for Usyk, do you think?
No, because he's 4 taller people. 3 inches isn't that much more than Joshua. Joshua's a huge specimen.
6'5",
and he's outboxed him twice. But 6'6", isn't he? Joshua.
No, I think he's 6'5", Joshua. 6'4",
he was about 3 or 4 inches taller than, I think, you know. Go on, I'll find it. Because what do you think on that? Joshua height.
I wonder whether Usyk's going to...
198.
Yeah.
Old school.
Because I was listening
6'6" he is, yeah.
I was listening to an interview...
Because Joshua's 82-inch reach as well, isn't it? Which is only 3 inches shorter, and he's 3 inches shorter in reach and 3
Well, I was
inches
listening
in
to
height.
an interview with Adam Booth, who was David Hayes' former trainer. And Adam Booth said Tyson Fury's basically a genetic freak because he was sitting next to Tyson Fury and he asked Tyson Fury to sit up next to him, and he said, our bodies are the same size.
Yeah. His legs are huge.
It's his legs. He said, so when he does that, he's got his body completely covered up. He said there's no... When he was due to fight David Hay, they changed the game plan because they were going to target the body. But he said when they seen the size of his body, that went out the window because his body is quite small. But I don't think Usyk will go head hunting.
Usyk's too fast, isn't it? They don't. He's just. It's not like he targets one area either. He's just relentless.
Yeah.
It's just he's going to get through. He's got the speed and the. I don't think Fury's got enough slickness to avoid him. He's not fast enough.
I think Usyk puts combinations together really when he does let his hands go.
He's got a good jab and he lands.
His combination punching is fantastic.
Rush. Yeah. But my point is this: Ngannou caught him, Wilder caught him, and with no disrespect to either of them, and I think Ngannou won. And Wilder, I think did. I think his fight against Parker's. He's lost the fire now. I think in those 3 fights he did fight. They were closer than if it wasn't just a one-way traffic.
It wasn't a boxing match, let's be honest, was it?
No, there were...
Against Wilder, it was a brawl.
There was a brawl.
Yeah.
And what won it for Fury was his size, his weight and mauling and stuff.
Yeah.
But Usyk doesn't play that game. He's going to be in, out, in, out, in, out. Boxing level, there is nobody in the heavyweight division that is as slick as he is. Because he's a cruiserweight coming up and he's added a little bit of size and power. And he's filled out a bit more now since he's even fought Joshua. Because he was more powerful against Dubois.
There is always that, a good big and beat a good little.
But even Dubois, 6'6" or something, isn't he? He's not small.
No, he's a big unit.
Dubois height. Let me check what his is. Yeah, he's basically nearly the same as Joshua. He's 196, so he's 6'5.5" or something.
Yeah.
6'5". But his reach is quite good as well, isn't it? 78. So yeah, Joshua's is bigger.
I'll be honest with you. All I'm trying to do is make a case for Fury because
I think he's got a case. If he catches him, if he is slick enough, if he can avoid him and do it, he's got enough boxing skill to make it into a boxing match. But I think if it's a pure boxing match, if they're going to go on points, Usyk wins. Fury's chances, if he catches him, molds and put his weight on, tires him out so Usyk slows down, catches him in the body or whatever it is. I think if he does a few of those tactics, he slows down. I don't think he's going to get into Usyk's head, like you said at the beginning.
No chance.
I don't think there's no chance of mentality beating him. So this isn't going to be a mentally beat fighter. This is somebody who's coming in thinking, I'm going to win, and have a game plan and know how they're going to win. So unless Usyk's injured or something silly happens, I would expect him to be a lot out.
You should never write Tyson Fury off. That's the thing. But
they are cunning and they may have worked out a game plan where they can get it. Yeah, everybody's beatable. That's the thing. And he has a huge height advantage, huge size advantage, huge reach advantage. So, all of those things, he has advantage. It's Usyk's boxing thing level. That is, it's his house, but it's boxing IQ and boxing thing.
Yeah.
I think Fury still needs to show that because I don't think whatever he says, he's never been against a fighter like Usyk.
No, he hasn't. Not a chance.
And Usyk in physical fighters has been against people like him, but although maybe not somebody quite as fast for that height and slick.
I think they're both going to have to be on the top of the game. And I think
we want them to be.
I think they will be. I've been to and froing on who's going to win this. Because you can't.
It's a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, but Tyson Fury's so bloody unpredictable.
You don't know what's going to turn up.
He could turn up and put on an absolute masterclass. And you go, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And he shocks the world and just basically turns around and says, I told you.
Well, I'm not sure he shocks the world. I think we're on
well, no, we're not. No, because I think Fury's going in as favourite. But then there's something niggling me that Usyk stops Fury.
Well, that's what I've said. I think this is going to be his best performance of his career, and then he's like drops the mic and walks off into the sunset.
I think Usyk
because
stops him.
There's nothing left to do if you're undisputed in 2 weights. And like the thing is this, he saw the guy. He had to, in cruiserweight, he had to gather all the belts in their backyard. Here he's going to be. He hasn't had to gather all the belts, but he still fought the fighters that are there.
Yeah.
And if you fought Joshua to get them and you've won and you become undisputed against Fury, I think that is the creme de la creme you've taken out. You've got you can say I am the best. I think he walks off into the halls of fame of boxers. Even if Fury wins, I'm not sure he does, because he should beat Usyk.
But we said that about Joshua, didn't we? Joshua should beat Usyk. I think what a lot of people don't, like you say, I think Usyk's so underrated.
Usyk's got a chance because he's underrated.
But Usyk's really underrated, and I think if you
people are making too much of the size thing.
If you speak to boxers, the likes of Tony Bellew, Anthony Joshua, proper boxers,
Joshua's backed. Said Usyk should.
Yeah.
Bellew said Usyk as well.
He is a
and he's obviously a
magician.
Fury, isn't he?
In that boxing ring, he is a magician.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's my pound for pound number 3, isn't it? After Crawford and in a way. So, and I think he deserves to be there.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. Like I say, I've always had something in the back of my mind that Usyk stops Fury. Quite convincingly as well. But, like I say, then I switch over and go, Fury could put on one of them masterclasses.
I think it's going to swing a little bit. I think it's going to be one of those, like the Klitschko-Joshua fight. I think there's going to be a little bit of a surprise in it somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, even like to Fury's and Wilder's, there was little swings where you thought, oh, wait a minute, it's going to go the other way. I think there will be some of that moment in this, because I think Fury's good enough to make it. But the two I see is either Usyk's going to get there on points, or he turns it up because something happens in the fight, like the punch from Joshua in the 9th round, where he just goes, right, he's cruising, but then he goes, no, I need to go full power. Or he may go, yeah, this guy's good enough, I need to go full power from the beginning, and get a knockout like 9th or 10th round, wear him out to that point and then knock him out. He's turned up the power a bit against Dubois because he was getting, angry. So if he gets angry, I think you're right. I could see that. You can see Fury winning as well. So if you
it's a genuine 50-50 fight. Although, in my opinion, it's a 50-50 fight. I think, like I say, most people, what I'm hearing, a lot of people are saying,
I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Fury wins. But don't count out that Ukrainian, because he is a magician.
He's a magician.
He's really. You don't win the unified cruiserweight
in everybody's backyard.
And
you got to look at who the people he fought. Like, we're fans of Jai Apataya, right? I watched Apataya's a little bit of highlights of the fight against Bridus. He broke his jaw on both sides, and obviously Apataya won. Usyk fought him and beat it. It was a close fight, and it was Bridus gave him a good go, but he won a lot more comprehensively. I think you've got to respect the thing, and he's carried up to heavyweight. He's the best boxer by a mile. I don't care what people say about Fury or anybody else. He is the best boxer by a mile. It's the size thing does come into play.
Yeah, it does. It's got to.
But the two fights we had last year, where people have gone that with Inoue and with Crawford, both went in the way of the guys.
It'd be interesting to find out who
the actual boxers.
Yeah, I mean, who they bring in for sparring for Usyk. Obviously, Tyson Fury will have his sparring partners, because I know he spars Joe Parker and people like that. Mm-hmm. Be interesting to see who Usyk brings in.
Mm-hmm. We may have to look into that.
Or does Usyk pick up? Yeah, it's something that because I don't think he can replicate Fury's.
They can't, and neither of them can replicate.
Because
there's nobody like Usyk, and there's nobody like Fury.
I think you're going to have to bring in sparring partners who are southpaw and orthodox, because you don't know which Fury's going to come in the ring, the southpaw Fury or the orthodox Fury, or he switches it through the fight. So you've got to be mentally ready for that. Because he is Fury has, like I say, his mind games. It's not just mind games. Sometimes he can switch things up during the ring.
Well, I think that they're doing a little bit, because obviously he's got his dad saying, "Oh, he's not training properly, this and the other." I think, that's just a game to make it look like, "Oh, he's not bothered." And thinking, I don't think it's going to be the Fury that was in the Ngannou fight. I think it's going to be the Fury in like the later Wilder fights that's going to turn up here. What do you think he's going to do on his weight? you think he's going to go a bit lighter and get speed, or do you think he's just going to try and go for weight?
I don't think he can come in heavy.
I don't think that's a good tactic.
No, I think if he comes in
I think
heavy,
he needs to have his speed.
Yeah.
To at least try and keep up with Usyk.
As we know, you get to that certain age.
It's harder to lose a little bit as well.
It's harder to lose it, but all of a sudden...
They're actually about similar age, isn't it? Fury's 35, so he's 36.
But when you get round to that age, it's not... when you're carrying that bit of weight, it tells on you even more at that age. Yeah. I know it did with me. I used to... The runs become a little bit harder because you're carrying that extra weight. Your movement becomes a little bit harder. Your reflexes become a little bit harder. You gas out a little bit easier. So I think he has got to come in light. I think he's got to be bouncy on his feet.
He's got to get his training spot on. He's got to be 110%.
I mean, the trainers are going to be interesting. Obviously, Usyk always comes in with a
You don't expect
plan.
Usyk to have anything. They're planned. I think they're ultra professional.
Be interesting to see what... Like I say, it's interesting to see what Fury comes up with. Is he going to come in heavy and just try and sit on him? And my personal thing is I think he's going to try and come in light, springy on his feet. Like he did against Klitschko, bamboozle him.
I think it needs to be that version.
Throw.
I mean, obviously heavier than he's
5, 6, 7 tippy tap shots.
Yeah.
And off he goes. I don't think he'll try and go for the knockout. Although Fury has changed. He's turned into like an aggressive counter-puncher in his past few fights. Take away, like I say, let's not mention the Ngannou fight, but the likes of Wilder, Dillian White, he was an aggressive counter-puncher. And he looked good being an aggressive counter-puncher. Mm-hmm. Like I say...
It'd be interesting to see his tactics. Whether he goes for that, like, well, I'm not going to outbox him, but I'm going to catch him. I'll maul him, put the weight on, slowly wear him out. I'll be slick enough to avoid knocking out, whatever. He's going to pepper me, but I'm going to not get knocked out.
I mean,
he's not going to knock me out because I'm too heavy.
Usyk's not going to beat him on the outside, fighting on the outside, is he? Let's be honest. It's got to be mid to close range.
Usyk's got to get in, but like we've seen him do it. So,
but he has got quite. He's got that spring, hasn't he, Usyk, where he can spring that jab out.
It's like the upper tire. It's like the inner way, isn't it? Where they're just in and out so fast. It's like the people say, but inner way, but you watch him and then they're like, he's in, out so fast. It doesn't like, he doesn't get caught, and he has got a good chin and like responsive. He doesn't get caught clean very often. He doesn't get caught that much, but he can take a punch. Like, Joshua caught him a few times. So you can see his face is like, he doesn't look like Inouye, who looks like, model.
He marks
even
up,
after the end of the fight.
He does mark up. Yeah, he does mark up.
Not huge, but he does get, you obviously in a heavyweight, it's the thing is this, you only need a slight.
Yeah, everyone says, he's susceptible to the body. I'm not being funny.
I don't think he is really.
It's not that. If you get punched in the body, it's horrible.
Everybody's susceptible to the body?
It's horrible.
There's nobody who's not susceptible to the body.
Being winded it's just vile.
It makes me laugh when the people go like that. You think, yeah, but everybody's susceptible to the body. Yeah. That's the whole point of the body is you're slowing down a fast. It should be obvious tactics. You've got a slick, smaller guy who's fast on his feet. The obvious tactic is you've got to hit him in the body to slow him down. That's what you do against any of these guys.
Yeah.
The problem is there's a relentless pressure, and it can... See, I don't think Fury's been against somebody who's that relentless pressure. So you would have been like a Klitschko, but he did it to Klitschko. Outboxed them, outfoxed them, and bamboozled them before. I think, like you said, bamboozled them before the fight started.
Oh, yeah, it was.
That ain't going to happen here.
No chance.
Whatever turns up. And it's the relentless pressure. Even without thrown punches, the footwork just puts that... It's like the same as like a Bivol or the Inouye or a Crawford. Crawford probably be less, but the other ones, these Eastern...
Well, the thing is
they mentally just drain you.
If you look at his fight with Wallen threw a lot of punches at him, caused Fury trouble, cut him, Wilder doesn't throw a lot of punches, so...
But he still caught him, and even...
Yeah, but Fury was able to do what he wanted,
to grab him, put his weight on.
He wasn't having to work constantly.
It was a slow fight. Wilder isn't a high output
Usyk
guy.
will make Fury work constantly. Dillian White didn't make Fury work. I mean, the other two people, I don't even remember what they were called, that Fury fought. Chisora...
See, Cunningham did. That's where the thing is, isn't it? And that's the closest guy he's fought who's similar to him.
Chisora was a punch bag, wasn't he?
You love Chisora, but he hasn't got the skills or the level. He's not at that level of them. He's
like
a good
you say,
boxer, but he's not at the level.
I love Chisora.
Yeah. But he's not technically.
It'd be interesting to see what Chisora says, actually, who he picks.
I haven't seen his.
He usually comes out with some mad, wild predictions.
Well, I think he thinks he's done better in his fight against Usyk. I think Usyk liked him and didn't really turn up because he didn't want to scare away opponents.
Well, he thought he won, actually, didn't he? I think Chisora and David Haye thought Usyk won.
But Chisora won? No,
he didn't. I mean, it was... No, let's just not go there.
Usyk didn't go all out, and I think he's still acclimatizing.
Yeah.
But like, and to be fair, Chisora's tactics were the mauling tactics, and they didn't really work. They did for a bit, but then they didn't really. And I think Usyk knew that was the only game plan. They haven't got the boxing IQ or the level of skill that our man has here. So Fury has. So should have. So that's why it makes it intriguing. It is the best. I think it is the two best heavyweights and is the best fight. I mean, although there's a few up and coming who I think would give them a go.
Yeah.
Because I would have said Joshua and Usyk is the two best, and obviously, but we've had that twice. So,
yeah. Make a prediction.
Usyk KO round 10. And my second one is Usyk on points after 12. My backup ones are gone. Now you can have yours. You need to go for Fury, but I'm not sure we made a strong enough case for Fury.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'd have gone Usyk round 10.
Yeah. I have to say, we could be...
I don't think he knocks Fury out.
No, it's going to be like a
I think TKO. It's just, TKO.
Wear him down.
Unanswered punches. But it's no surprise if Fury knocks Usyk out.
No.
But I'm going to...
I don't think Fury wins on points unless it's like one of those special decisions.
Yeah. No,
and I don't think any of us would want that. I think Fury's only chance of winning is knockout.
I've always said round 10 TKO for Usyk. I think that's the first time we've ever agreed on.
Yeah, it is. We'll have that. We'll agree on that. Backup of Usyk on points.
we might be completely wrong. But we've discussed it a lot over the past 2 years, haven't we?
We've been discussing it for a long time and waiting for this for a long time. And I think we've tried to be fair to both of them. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure there's much more you can say. I think that's the chances.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I think the heavens agree.
Yeah.
Or they're telling us to shut up.
Yeah, no, you're wrong.
Well, no, the chances, I think there's people who think Fury's going to outbox him. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's anybody slick. It's just on size.
The thing is
hard to be
nothing is going to surprise me.
Yeah.
If Fury does outbox him, it's not going to surprise me.
No.
If Usyk knocked him out in 3 or 4 rounds, that won't surprise me.
No.
Nothing is going to surprise me in this fight because
anything could happen.
They are all right. It sounded like I've ripped Fury a bit. He is a good boxer, but in my mind, he hasn't got the resume. He really, really hasn't, and I think.
They're going about who's the hype job. I think he is a little bit more of the hype job. Some of it himself, some of it other people, more than Usyk. And I think Usyk, even with all his achievements, even what people say, he's underrated.
Oh, massively.
And I can see him putting on. I don't think he's going to hold back on this performance. I think he's held back in all of the others.
Well, this is his.
I think there's more to give.
This is his swan song, isn't it? Yeah. Let's be honest.
If he wins, you just stop. There's nobody left to fight. There's nothing to do. You've done it. You're in the Hall of Fame. You're one of the best boxers of all time. I think he already is, but I think that's the crowning glory, and you've got that on the end of it. The problem is, I still don't think he goes higher up the pound list. I think he still stays at number 3, but he's in that equal group. There's 3 of them in one group, and then there's everybody else. At the moment, it's 2. Then there's Usyk, and then there's everybody else. I think if he wins...
I think if he beats Tyson Fury, for me, he goes number 2. He takes over Terence Crawford.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'd still keep him anyway at the top.
Terence. He's already upset,
I think if Fury... If Usyk beats Fury, he goes number 2 for me.
I can understand that.
But that's just because of Crawford's inactivity.
I was going to say that is the thing. I think that's let Crawford down. But the problem with Crawford's got is, who does he actually fight? Because there's not really anybody there. He fights Ennis, he's got no... Well, I think this is a different video, isn't it?
This is the thing. After Usyk to say beats Fury. Who does he fight? There's no one to fight, so that's why I think, retirement and off he goes.
Well, he's old enough. He's made the money. What are you going to do? He can fight Ngannou for a laugh, and he'll make like probably a few million.
No, I think it'll be Joshua Ngannou before it's Usyk and Ngannou.
Well, I think Joshua Ngannou's a bigger fight because they're both beasts. It would be more than one you see. I think Usyk is too slick a boxer. It'll be one-sided, and it's not as much.
And Usyk's a boxer. He's not going to fight an exhibition fight.
Yeah.
He's a consummate professional, and it wouldn't. I don't think that interests him at all.
But what he's made his legacy. If he wins this fight, is basically that's it. What else? You got nothing to prove to anybody.
No.
You walk off into the sunset and let the others fight out for the things. And I think that's why I don't think it's a good idea for either of them to have a third contest against Joshua. I think then Joshua, because I think Joshua can beat the rest of them. Because I think Fury, like you said, is gone, and Joshua's the best of the rest.
Yeah.
And then if Fury wins, then obviously there's a
huge fight.
Then it's him and Joshua, which will be a mega fight, which would be great to see. So
yeah,
it's win-win, really, isn't it?
Win-win for us.
It's a win-win for us. We'll see what happens for them.
Yeah.
Cool. Are we sticking to those?
Yeah, I'm going round 10. Usyk.
Round 10 for me as well. Yeah, knockout. Well, TKO.
I'd like to know what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, let us know in your comments what you think.
I think this is going to be one where it's massively divided.
Well, we've tried to be fair, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I think, but obviously, I think a lot of people's favourite will be Tyson Fury because size, whatever they think, the 3 fights against Wilder, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people haven't watched as much as Usyk or appreciate the level of boxing and what he's gone through to get there. Usyk's resume is better. Maybe not in heavyweight, but in overall, the people he's beaten, cruiserweight and stuff.
Oh, God, yeah.
And the performances and his amateur career and everything else, he's got a fantastic career. This is his final swan song. So
excellent. I look forward to it as well.
Yeah. Can't wait. So thank you, everyone. Let us know what you think in the comments. Give us the likes, subscribes, and comments, please. If you think we're talking rubbish, let us know.
Yeah.
If you think we're, going down the right alley, that's fine as well.
Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah. Give us your feedback. Okay. Thank you very much.
A lot.
See you in the next one.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.